Welcome to Japanese Classroom. This lesson is about Japanese verbs 行く, 来る, and 帰る. They usually correspond with the English verbs to go, to come, and to go home, respectively. But there are some occasions when English and Japanese don't match. And these three verbs have quite peculiar usages. For instance, if a verb stem and ni is used with one of these verbs, it can describe a purpose of coming and going. A verb stem and ni is never used like that with any other verb. Also, these verbs can combine with the te form of another verb to mean something completely different. So it is very important to know the basic usage of these three verbs. 行きます is to go, so going to school is usually 学校に行く or 学校に行きます。If the girl Amy arrives at school early before the boy John gets to school, John can still say 学校に行く、学校に行きます。But Amy will say, John は学校に来る or John は学校に来ます。Basically, 行く is when you are moving away from where you are, and 来る、来ます is when you are staying put and the other one is coming to you. So, if your mom, or more likely your host mother in Japan, calls you for dinner, in English you would say, I'm coming, but in Japanese you should say, 今行きます, because you are moving away from where you are. This is something you need to remember if you are planning to be billeted in Japan. Let's go back to the school scenario. Suppose John didn't turn up to school one day, and Amy rings John at home to see if he's coming to school next day. It is okay for her to ask, 明日学校に行く? But if she likes school, she will say, 学校に来る? This is because it is normal for Amy to see John at school, and Amy is identifying the school to be her base when she sees him. So this is when you can use 来る even when you are not where you are to meet the other person. The same thing happens when you are inviting someone home when you are not home. If John invites Amy to his home, he would say, うちに来てください, even though they both have to move away from where they are now. One day, Amy visits John when he's at home. From Amy's point of view, that is, 私はジョンさんの家に行きます. And from John's point of view, エイミーさんは家に来ます. When Amy arrives at John's house, both of them will say, 来た, 来ました. And Amy's family will say, エイミーはジョンさんの家に行きました. After a while, Amy will go home. You never say 家に行く or 家に行きます when you are going back to your own home. So Amy should say 帰る or 帰ります. And from her family's point of view, she's coming home, so it should be 帰ってくる or 帰ってきます. And when Amy gets home, she would say 帰ってきた or 帰ってきました which means I have come home or I came home. If she says 帰った or 帰りました that usually refers to the time she left the friend's house to go home. If you are making a statement for a police investigation, this difference will affect somebody's alibi. I mentioned these three verbs, 行く、来る、帰る, are used differently from other verbs, but I will talk about that in a separate video. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you like this lesson, please subscribe to my channel and give a thumb up. Also, for more resources, please visit EasyJapaneseE.com. また今度! See you next time!